Okay, on this video I want to show you one more example of a type of problem that might come up. So when you have basically a fraction is less than another fraction, it's kind of like when we had an integer over here on this side and we need to move it over and combine it and make one big fraction out of it. So on all these problems you're trying to get to where you have some sort of expression on the top and the bottom that's factored out and then less than or greater than 0. So you want to get a 0 and then one fraction over on this side. So we're going to bring this over. So 3 over x plus 4 minus 6 over x minus 2 is less than or equal to 0. So then I've got to get common denominators. So I've got to take this times x minus 2 and this times x minus 2 and this times x plus 4 and this times x plus 4. So I get 3x minus 6 minus 6x minus 24 all over, and there's no sense to multiply this out because we want to have everything factored. So x plus 4 times x minus 2, and now that's less than or equal to 0. So then combine like terms. 3 minus 6x is negative 3x, negative 6 minus 24 is minus 30, and then you still have your x plus 4 and your x minus 2 on the bottom. So this top is like one factor. Now you could factor out a negative 3 if you wanted to. If you did, you'd have a negative 3 times x plus 10. I would probably do that, but a lot of people wouldn't think to do that, so I'm going to work the problem without doing that, okay? So if you see that and you want to work it that way, I think it's a little bit simpler, but a lot of you won't want to mess with that. So you're going to set each of these factors equal to 0 to find your critical points. So negative 3x minus 30 equals 0, x plus 4 equals 0, and x minus 2 equals 0. This is going to give you negative 3x equals 30. So you're going to have x equals negative 10 as one of your critical points. This is going to be x equals negative 4, and this is going to be x equals 2. These are the numbers where this thing could possibly change from negative to positive. These are the numbers that make this either equal 0 or undefined because of the denominator. So make yourself a number line, put these in order, and luckily these are already in order. So you've got a negative 10, a negative 4, a positive 2. So that's going to divide our numbers up into 4 sections, 1, 2, 3, 4. Something smaller than negative 10 might be negative 16, something in there, negative 6, something in there would be 0, and then 3 is fine, something bigger than 2. Now, take negative 16 and plug it into this expression, okay? So negative 16 times negative 3 is a positive number that's bigger than 30. It's positive 48. 48 minus 30 is positive, so you get a positive number on top. Negative 16 minus 4 is negative, and negative 16 minus 2 is also negative. So I have a positive and 2 negatives. That's going to give me a positive answer. If I take negative 6 and put it in here, that's going to give me 18 minus 30, which is going to be negative. And then negative 6 plus 4, 3 negatives makes a negative. 0 minus 30 is negative. 0 plus 4 is positive. 0 minus 2 is negative. 2 negatives makes a positive. 3 is going to give me a negative on top. 3 plus 4 is positive on the bottom, and 3 minus 2 is also positive on the bottom. So one negative gives me a negative. So we are looking for what gives me a negative. Okay, now also at this point, because you've got the need for brackets, but you also have some stuff in the denominator, I would mark here, I would sometimes even do it before I even went through picking all these numbers or testing all of these numbers. So you've got this less than or equal to sign. The equal to part means you're going to have a bracket, but you can't have a bracket on the negative 4. So I would put parentheses there, and you can't have a bracket on the 2 because if you have a bracket on it, it means it can actually equal to, and 2 minus 2 gives you a 0 in the denominator, and you can't have that. Same with -4. If I put -4 in there, I get a 0 in the denominator. So I can never have a bracket on my answer on the -4 or the 2. I can have a bracket on my -10 if needed. Now come down and look at your answer. We want to know where it's negative, so that's this section and this section. So that's going to be from -10 to -4 and 2 to infinity. So I know I have to have a parentheses on the 2, a parentheses on the -4, bracket on the -10, and then a union sign in between. So this is my answer. So it's pretty much the same strategy after, it is exactly the same strategy after you get this set up. The thing is, when you have a fraction and another fraction, you've got to put them together as one fraction in order to work the problem. You can't have anything that's not factored. You want a fraction with a bunch of factors on top and factors on the bottom and compared to 0. Okay, hopefully that helps.